I will briefly explain and compare the background of the six selected companies which operate in different sectors in Bursa Malaysia, reflecting diverse business model and risk profiles. Firstly, Samsudya Berhad operates mainly in the property sector with activities in property development, construction, healthcare and education. This shows that Samsudya has a diversified property-based business which helps reduce dependency on a single income source. It is also a Sharia-compliant company indicating compliance with Islamic finance principles. In contrast, Shangri-La Hotels Malaysia Berhad is in the consumer products and services sector, focusing on hotel and resort operations. Unlike Samsudya, Shangri-La is not Sharia compliant and its performance is highly dependent on tourism demand, making it more sensitive to economic cycles and travel trends. Next, TH Plantation Berhad operates in the plantation sector, mainly involved in oil palm cultivation and production of crude palm oil. Compared to the service-oriented Shangri-La, TH Plantation's revenue is influenced by commodity price and agricultural condition, and it is Sharia compliant. Meanwhile, Textium Resources Berhad operates in the industrial products and services sector with diversified activities including polymer engineering, food and restaurant divisions. Compared to TH Plantation, Textium has a more diversified industrial structure which may help stabilize earnings. Auro Holdings Berhad operates across timber manufacturing, food and beverage, property and dredging. Compared to Textium, Auro is smaller and operates in more traditional industries but remains Sharia compliant. Lastly, Scanwolf Corporation Berhad is also in the industrial products and services sector, focusing on manufacturing plastic extrusion and flooring products with additional property activities. Compared to Auro, Scanwolf is more manufacturing driven, which requires higher capital investment. In conclusion, the differences between these companies mainly arise from the sector they operate in, which affect their business risks, income structures, and financial.
As we conclude our group analysis, we focus on equity, show the company transition under the Companies Act 2016 that no longer report on the authorized share capital or par value, that instead we see how companies survive bad times to save profit of issued share capital. However, a significant contrast appears in the retained earnings, which serve as a financial that can be bankrupt and as a shock to absorb operational hits rather than a growth engine. We measure the effect of this capital to earnings per share. EPS, for example, Textium showed a significant turnaround from a loss to positive EPS in 2024, proving its recovery. Furthermore, the presence of non-controlling interest that we can see on report. In summary, equity is the residual interest and the ultimate safety net for shareholder, whether as a robust pillar of growth or a protective buffer. It defines the true net worth of our combined analysis. Equity show how much value this company have to allocate for their owners.
Now, let's move to deferred tax. All six companies adopt MFRS 112 income tax. For initial recognition, deferred tax is recognized for all temporary difference using the liability method. For subsequent measurement, it is measured using the tax rate expected to apply when the asset is realized or the liability is settled based on tax enacted at the reporting date. In the statement of financial position, TH Plantation record the highest net liability. Conversely, our holding shows the lowest value, shifting from a small net asset to a net liability. For Shangri-La, it is maintained as a strong net asset position. In the statement of profit or loss, TH Plantation report the highest tax expense of 63 million in 2024, a significant jump from 2023. Scanwolf remained the lowest, recording tax income of 210,000. According to the notes, this recognition strictly depends on the probability of future taxable profit being available to utilize the tax benefit. In summary, all companies strictly adhere to MFRS 112, where the recognition of deferred tax relies heavily on future profitability, while TH Plantation carries the heaviest tax burden. Others like Shangri-La utilize deferred tax as a strategic financial asset.
Good day. My name is Noifa Danya, S75949, and today I will be discussing listers under MFRS 16. In this presentation, I will explain how MFRS 16 affects the initial recognition, subsequent measurement, and financial reporting of listers, focusing on its impact on the statement of financial position and the statement of profit or loss across different companies. For initial recognition, under MFRS 16, which is leases, companies initially recognize a right of use asset and lease liabilities at the present value of future payments. For subsequent measurement, these assets are measured at costless accumulated depreciation, typically applied on a straight line basis over the lease term. When we compare statement of financial position, we can see a big difference between the companies. TH Plantations Berhad recorded the highest lease amount in both years, although there was a slight decrease from RM718 million to RM707 million. On the other hand, our Holdings Berhad had the lowest figures, but they showed the biggest growth, increasing from RM62,000 in 2023 to more than 1.7 million in 2024. Lastly, for the statement of profit or loss, TH Plantations Berhad remain relatively stable, recording around RM10.7 million in both 2023 and 2024. In contrast, our holdings Berhad show a significant change, where the impact dropped sharply from RM5.6 million in 2023 to only RM648,000.
For financial assets, all six companies apply MFRS 9 financial instrument because they hold financial assets such as trade receivable, cash balance, and investment. Financial assets are initially recognized at fair value by all companies. Most companies subsequently measure financial assets at amortized cost as they hold them to collect contractual cash flows, while Texum Resource Berhad and Auro Holding Berhad are more likely to use fair value through profit or loss due to investment activities. In the statement of financial position, Sun Surya, Shangri-La, and Texum show increases in financial assets in 2024. TH Plantation remains unchanged. Scanwolf shows a decrease and Auro Holdings record a slight increase. In the statement of profit or loss, TH Plantation's profit increases and Shangri-La improved from a loss to a profit, while Texum and Sun Surya record lower profits and Scanwolf and Auro Holdings reduced their losses. These differences are mainly due to industry nature and business model.
I'm going to analyze financial liabilities for 6 Malaysian companies under the MFRS 9 financial instruments. These instruments, including borrowings, trade payables, and other payables, are initially measured at fair value minus transaction costs and subsequently measured at amortized costs. Looking at the statement of financial position, Sun Surya Berhad carries the highest liability at over 934 million ringgit, though they achieved a healthy decrease this year. On the other hand, TH Plantation and Shangri-La Hotel report negative figures, representing strong net credit position, although TH Plantation saw a slight increase in its liability balance for 2024. Statement of profit or loss, we see the impacts on earnings. TH Plantation faced the most significant decrease in the performance as finance costs widened to over 95 million ringgit. Texum and Sun Surya also saw performance decreases. Notably, Shangri-La Hotel was the only company to show a slight positive change in this category. In conclusion, while smaller entities like Scanwolf Corporation show only slight changes, the overall trend points toward rising finance for the large players. Monitoring these amortized costs will be essential for assessing their fiscal health in the coming year.